Parent hack 7, find the fun. This is about focus. I love this hack, and I hope it's something that my husband Rowan and I are really good at. I like to think it's something that we're good at, that we have this ability to find the fun in whatever we're doing. When we are at home, remote learning, remote working, doing everything inside the four walls of our house, except, little trips out here and there, finding the fun has been a lifesaver for us. And I don't know what you do in your family, but I feel like in the Dredge household, we're really good at laughing. And I feel like we're really good at telling jokes. And I feel like we're really good at laughing at ourselves in a good way, right? And so this idea of parent hack, or these words of parent hack, find the fun. I'm so excited to end with this because it's something that makes all the difference. When you have a joke in your home, when something doesn't go quite right and everyone kind of laughs, if there's been any sense of tension, it's amazing how quickly that tension can go, right? Where it just like breaks the ice. It just, what might have been thick in the air before is now dissipated because everyone's just breathed out, they've laughed, they've relaxed, and they've moved on to the next thing. And finding the fun, the reason why I picked the big word there to be focused is because you get what you're looking for. And you get what you're looking for to the exclusion of everything else. I don't know if you've ever looked to buy a new car. Let's say you're looking to buy a black 4-wheel drive, right? And so you decide, I think I want a 4-wheel drive and I think I want black because black is the only color car anyone should ever own, speaking from my own personal opinion here, right? So you're like, black 4-wheel drive is what I'm after. I don't know if this has happened to you. When you're looking to buy a new car, you've picked a couple of models that you like and the color that you've liked. All of a sudden, you begin to see these cars everywhere. I mean, it's like these cars have just appeared on the road and you've never noticed them before, but now they're everywhere. Have you ever experienced that? It is this incredible scientific thing that's going on in your mind. It is called your RTA, your reticular activating system. Your RAS, your reticular activating system. And your activating system inside your mind, it is constantly filtering things out. Okay, what you're looking at right now, there's probably noise going on, there's other stuff going on, maybe your tummy's gurgling, maybe you've got things to do, and your reticular activating system, your RAS, is filtering all of that out. When you look for something like a new car, your reticular activating system kicks in and says, you need to tell Megan, you need to tell her brain every time she sees one of them, because she's focused on that right now. Why? Because you get what you're looking at you get what you're looking for to the exclusion of everything else. What's my point? When you look for fun in your home, you will find it every day. When you look for things that can be enjoyed and not endured, you will find them every day. Some call it the silver lining. In fact, one thing we've been doing with our kids during remote learning thus far is an adaptation of what we do every single night when we have dinner together. We do a thing at our table called Best Things. And we go around the table and we talk about the best things from today. Notice we don't say, did you have any best things? We call it best things. And the question is actually, what were your best things? Big assumption that there were some good things. Why? Because you get what you're looking for to the exclusion of everything else. So while you're at home and while you're remote learning and your children are remote learning and you're remote working and you're doing everything that you've got to do and all those responsibilities that frankly your children have no idea that you're carrying mentally, physically and emotionally right now, while you're doing all of that, what are you looking for? What are you expecting to find? What are you going to see? What is the silver lining, so to speak? And so we've started doing this with our kids and we started saying, what were your best things today? And more specifically, what are some of the best things about remote learning? And it's really cool to hear their response, and feel free to steal best things. I mean, not just now for remote learning, but for the rest of your family's lives. Sit down with them as adults and discuss around the table. So what were your best things today? Because you get what you're looking for. You really, really do. What you focus on, you get. And what you continue to focus on, you get more and more and more. Gratitude is the antidote to feeling overwhelmed, to feeling underappreciated, to perhaps even feeling intimidated. When we can be grateful, when we can have gratitude, when we can look back over our day and go, you know what, this was a really cool thing that happened today. Wow, this is the silver lining of remote learning. Last week we went out on one of our recess walks, which I've talked about a lot, and on this particular day it was really grey and cloudy, and we're like, you know what, we think it's going to rain, but we're like, you know what, we can walk. We've got a Coles like 2 kilometres from our house, so we're like, let's walk to Coles. And Rowan's like, he gave the kids, he's like, you've got $5, you can spend it on whatever you want, right? Does that just not sound like a dream to a 7-year-old? Like, $5, Dad gave me $5. So Rose, like, you can spend it on whatever you want. So we walk down to Coles, the sky's getting darker and darker and darker. Kids are all excited. We've got our umbrellas. It's windy. They're about to spend $5. We get to Coles. It takes way longer than it should for them to decide what to buy with their money, which lollies they were going to share and what they were going to do with each other. Anyway, on our way back home from the supermarket, the thunder erupted and the skies opened, and we were caught in the midst of a storm. It was ridiculous. Like, this was a full-on storm. One umbrella broke. I'm freaking out about my hair because I'm a girl and I care about my hair. The kids are like, oh my gosh, this is... And then all of a sudden we were like, this is amazing. This is so exciting. Wow, we're in a storm. We're taking photos. I take a video, send it to my mum and dad. Look, we're stuck in a storm. This is so exciting. You know, we got back home. We were soaked. Our shoes were soaked. Our socks were soaked. We were dripping. My hair was wet. I mean, it was all happening. But you know, there was no sense of worry. There was no sense of disappointment, because that day we found the fun. And just a couple of days ago, actually, my daughter mentioned it. She goes, Mum, do you remember when it was remote learning last week and we went for a walk? We got caught in a storm, and it was all of her memories of the experience was positive. Why? Because we found the fun. And I want to invite you and I want to encourage you as we conclude these 7 hacks right now. We're concluding with find the fun. This is about focus. You get what you're looking for to the exclusion of everything else. And regardless of how long remote learning and homeschooling is going to go on, I'm inviting you every day, make a choice to find the fun. Make something bad into something good. Turn something that just caused tension into something that can be fun and lighthearted. As you move forward as a parent with your children who are now currently learning at home, it will be a lifesaver for you and a huge enjoyment for them if you will choose to be a parent who's committed to finding the fun. This is about focus. And that is parent hack number 7.